Can anybody in here guess how many of us are standing in this red dot as of this moment? Can you give me a number? Am I one only? Yes, one? Okay. But we are actually five in here because I am carrying with me my four brothers and sisters, my guardian angels, because I am what you would call a miracle baby. My mother had suffered from an extreme medical condition, which hindered her from conceiving a child. And it was a very depressing moment for both my mommy and my daddy that four babies were formed and four heartbreaks followed. And then there was me in the flesh, now living, existing. And so I know exactly that God has a specific purpose as to why He allowed me to set foot in this world. And that is what I want to talk to you today. Recognizing your purpose and how that is deeply connected with your confidence. So these are my parents, and they're actually here with me. Hi, Mommy, Daddy, Mama, and Dada. And happy Father's Day, Daddy, Dada, and of course, to all of our amazing dads. And before I proceed, I want to ask you one question first, so we will circle back later. What is something that you absolutely loved doing as a kid that you don't love anymore? But for now, since I feel like some of you are already getting sleepy, we will be having a mini interactive activity first. I'm inviting everyone to please stand up. Ayan, para naman may stretching tayo, para mabuhayan tayo. I will be giving you simple scenarios, and the instructions are simple. If for once in your life you have experienced this, please sit down. But if your answer is no, I never experienced this, like never, then please remain standing. Is that clear? Okay, let's go. First scenario, I have once deleted a social media post or a photo of mine that I posted online because I suddenly felt ugly the moment I posted it. Oh, ang dami agad. Okay. Let's proceed to the second scenario. I once had a major emotional breakdown. I cried so hard because I was feeling jealous or insecure about someone. Okay. Nadagdagan ang mga umupo. Okay, for the last one, for our last scenario, there was a certain point in my life where I compared myself with other people, and it led me to become so self-conscious. There you have it. So, okay, we still have some people standing. I applaud you. But those are just the three scenarios that I have right now. So, okay, everyone can now sit down. But if we will reflect on that simple activity, just three scenarios. At the beginning of that, everyone was standing up. But just from the first question only, majority of you are already seated down. And now, if we're going to reflect on that, in our lives, when we're always faced with such difficult situations where our confidence is always being in question, who do you think will stand up for yourself? I just want to share. Do you know who my biggest idol is? It was me as a kid. Because back then, trust me when I say that I was so confident because I never compared myself with the other kids. But mind you, this is what I look like. This is what a confident kid looks like. She's wearing a bathing suit at her mother's office. And just to give you a clear example, when I was 3 years old, I was strolling in the mall with my family when this pageant called Little Miss Bicolandia was ongoing. And you know what I did? I am not a candidate, but I ran to the stage and I joined the candidates. My family were so embarrassed. Of course, they went after me while I was busy crying and kicking my feet off because I want to be there. And in true drama queen fashion, I almost broke someone else's side mirror in a car in a parking lot because I threw my shoe. Because I was throwing tantrums to my parents. And from that moment, they already know that, okay, Macy will grow up as a beauty queen. And maybe the rest is history. I grew up to be this kind of kid who loves to express herself, who loves pink, who loves to sing, who loves to dance. Well, I could definitely say that she was confident. And then when I turned 14, I started joining pageants. And ever since, I was living in front of the cameras, wearing high heels and in makeup. But you know what? If there's one thing that also remained constant in my life, I was always in constant scrutiny. Every move that I make, it always comes now with harsh opinions, judgments from other people, and it's not what I expected. And so that is the point at 14 years old that I realized, oh, this is how cruel the world could be. And that is the moment that I started to mold myself to fit into the unrealistic standards and expectations of pageantry. But don't get me wrong, I am thankful for this platform because a lot of doors opened for me by being a beauty queen. But there's just another side to the story that not a lot of people are comfortable to talk about, especially if it comes from us, like beauty queens ourselves. And that is, pageantry will exhaust you. It will push you to your limits, and it will make you think of the worst things about yourself. Because pageantry, it is a constant race of proving yourself. A lot of people are always telling us, oh, you should be prettier, you should be skinnier, you should be more. As for me, I feel like before I'm talented already, but maybe just not quite talented enough. And it was exhausting, you know? It was the kind of confidence that pageantry is giving us. It was temporary, it was conditional. And maybe a lot of you are thinking right now, what is she even babbling about? She sounds so confident. Do I sound confident? But no. In a lot of moments in my life, trust me when I tell you that I had to fake confidence. Because in reality of pageantry, when curtains close, we are so anxious. We are so afraid of getting judged. And this is not just for me, but for a lot of beauty queens. It always happens. And people close to me, they know this, that whenever I win a pageant or a crown, I will still go back home feeling back to zero as if my achievements didn't count. Because that's just the kind of confidence that pageantry is giving you. Because at the end of the day, people are still eyeing on you. People are still waiting for you to commit a mistake. And so, you know what I did as a coping mechanism? Can you guess what I did? Well, yeah, it's basically the title of my talk. What I did is I faked confidence. And right now, just like what you said, I sound so confident standing in the red dot right now. But days prior to this, I was so anxious. I was having mini breakdowns because trust me when I say that I was so nervous to be here and face you guys. But yeah, I told myself, I could fake confidence, so let's fake confidence. And so just like what I'm doing in pageantry, in a split second, I will shift my mindset. And okay, I'm ready. Let's face you guys. I always have this little pep talks. Oh, come on, Macy. Isa na lang, try mo lang. Just pretend if you have to. A lot of voices are always screaming within me. But yet, I still show up, faking this confidence that you could see. And it happened over and over again. And that is the very reason as to why I was able to bring home crowns and pageantry and also stand here as one of your TEDx speakers. Because these are the magical things I learned in life that I believe could help you too. Number one, faking it isn't lying, it's training. You know what, as a student, I was always perceived as the intelligent one. But in reality, I was struggling. I cannot count how many times I had these moments when with my seatmate, Hoy, ala, hindi ko gets, paano daw? And when I look around me, they seem to get what our professor said. But as for me, wala akong naintindihan. But you know what? I always show up in school as if I figured everything out. Okay, let's go. But I cannot count how many times I had a breakdown inside my dorm room because it was so hard. University life was so hard. But I had to fake it because I want to graduate with flying colors. And you know, all those faking moments, it led me to graduate as valedictorian in high school and magna cum laude in college. But now, wait, just to spoil you, it wasn't because I was that extremely intelligent kid that her mind was wired to perfection. No, that wasn't the case. It was pure hard work, accompanied with a little fake it till you make it moment in school. And now, number two, purpose gives confidence a reason to stay. A funny thing about me is that when I was a kid, I carried inhaler. You know inhaler? More than I carried dolls because I was an extremely asthmatic kid. That I was always in and out of the hospital because just a simple movement could trigger an asthma attack. But you know what my biggest childhood dream is? It was to become, well, just a simple dream, a majorette leader. That whenever I see those beautiful girls twirling their batons and in their gala, I was so elated and I want to be one of them. That's why when I started schooling, that was my priority. Oh, I want to be like them. That is my dream, really. So, during elementary, I prioritized that. I joined the DLC. I had this kind of mindset wherein we will have training anyways. My body will get used to it. And so I joined. I had training. And you know what happened? I was always in the clinic. Because I was always having asthma attack. I was always wheezing, out of breath, and it's very much obvious that my body can't keep up to our training. But you know what? As a kid, even as a 10-year-old or 11-year-old girl, I had this mindset, no, I can do this. Because this is rooted in purpose. I have a reason as to why I'm doing this, and not just to become that popular girl because she's a majorette leader. No, it's a childhood dream. That's important for me. And that kind of mindset, even though I was just a little kid, led me to become a majorette leader, not just in elementary, well, but also in high school. And this is one of the most treasured memories that I will always keep in my life forever. And now lastly, I was chasing confidence until I started chasing meaning. Now let's go to my life now as a beauty queen, like in this field. There was a certain point in my life where I felt like crowns will fix everything. That if I've just won enough, then maybe I would feel enough. But again, that wasn't the case for me. Because I was able to win several pageant titles already, but well, guess what? I'm still not feeling 100% confident beauty queen. I was still chasing that feeling of confidence. But then I realized, no, this shouldn't be the case. Is this what pageantry is all about? Is this the kind of life that I should live as a beauty queen? And so I started to ponder real hard. What is the kind of impact that I want to give as a beauty queen? I started to chase that deeper meaning. And so that is the point that I started to be more active in volunteerism. I have involved myself in a lot of amazing organizations which help me materialize my advocacy, particularly in empowering the victims of domestic and sexual abuse. And wow, I felt the genuine fulfillment and satisfaction once I've done that. Because by then I realized that by being a beauty queen, I really don't have to chase that feeling of confidence all the time, to be pretty, to give your best image all the time. No, that shouldn't be it. We should always understand the deeper meaning or the deeper purpose of everything that we're doing. And as for me, it may be the field of pageantry, but I believe that each and every one of you have your own fields or platforms. And I want you guys to also think of that deeper meaning that could help you push through. And now, with these 3 realizations that I've had in my life that maybe could help you too, let's go back to the question that I asked you a while ago. What is something that you absolutely loved doing as a kid that you don't love anymore? Is there anything that comes into mind? Anyone? Is there anything that comes to mind? Can I just see like a nod if yes? All right. Maybe you loved painting, but someone told you, oh, there's no money in arts. Be a doctor, be a lawyer, be an architect, be a professional. Maybe you love dancing, but someone told you, your body is so stiff, you're not graceful. Maybe you love public speaking, but someone told you, your voice is so annoying, you're so high-pitched, stop talking. And just like that, you let it go. And I want to ask you, did you really lose the interest in those things, or did the world just tell you to stop believing in yourself? But within you, you know that that spark is still in there. And so this is my call to action to you. Don't just focus on finding confidence. Find your purpose first. And I've learned that the hard way. I was so busy in finding confidence. The ending is I never found confidence. Or rather, I had to fake it all the time. But when you shift the narrative to finding your purpose first, trust me when I tell you that it will remain permanent in your heart. Whenever you have that purpose in you, everything will fall into place. And if you're wondering right now, like if you're asking me, Macy, how do I even find that purpose? I don't even know what my purpose is. Then just start here. Your purpose is to be yourself unapologetically. Because in a world that profits off our self-doubt, embracing your authenticity is the bravest thing that you could do for yourself. Stop just merely following trends or whatever it is that people are telling you to do or to be. Stop seeking for validation all the time because you will never feel that contentment. But if you really remain authentic to yourself, you trust your instinct, you trust what your heart and your mind is telling you what to do, and I can't promise you that the path will be easy. Of course, it will still be hard, but at least you know that you're on the right path because that is something that you truly want, that you truly love. And I want you guys to do that unapologetically because you don't have to be sorry by being yourself. And now, as I end my talk, I want to bring you guys back to the stage of Miss Bicol University 2022, one of my most favorite pageants where I have won the crown, thankfully. And when during the Q&A portion, I was asked, what makes you unique? And my answer was, joining a pageant isn't about who has the most alluring face or who has the most perfect body. It is about having the self-awareness of what your purpose is, setting and aiming your goal to become the best authentic version of yourself. And what makes me unique is that there is no one in the candidates and in this world that could be Rhianne Macy Zapata but me. And just like you, your name, that is yours. Live it, own it, and let it leave a legacy. And trust me that just like me, day will come that you won't have to fake confidence anymore, but confidence will follow you wherever you go. Thank you.